AI is making a buzz in almost every sector. In fact, so many professionals feel obligated to include fancy stuff about it in their presentations and reports as if it is some sort of savior. City planners and managers are no different. In fact, some of them are eagerly waiting for new AI programs that can magically make their cities more livable, sustainable, and rich. However, so far, AI has not improved the human situation in any city or made any city more sustainable. So what is the problem in this equation? Is there a solution? Is AI simply too stupid to understand human behavior and needs? Cities are hard to plan and maintain. No matter how much effort planners and designers implement, in the end, problems and issues surface. And in most cases, many of these issues are never addressed until it's too late. This reality is simply inescapable due to reasons such as the unpredictable movement of people, changes in the economic situation, and political stability. Even though AI has been used for years by city planners and managers, it is still very limited because it simply cannot predict how people will move in and out of the city and within the city itself due to economic or political changes. For example, a recession in a state or country can lead to the unpredictable movement of people along with serious fluctuations in public revenues which reflect on the city's ability to improve and maintain infrastructure. This, coupled with changes to commercial and industrial activities due to the economic recession or even an economic boom, can dramatically change traffic and public transit demand and create random and sudden stress on infrastructure and social services. One example of how serious such problems are is the recent riots in Paris, France. Even though Paris is mostly a world-class city and quite sophisticated and advanced, with an enormous budget and excellent economy, its planners failed to tackle the issues of poor, marginalized areas, leading to serious social problems and eventual violence and destruction of property. Some cities have their entire citywide traffic management and transit systems controlled by AI. Even the allocation of police patrol patterns is managed by AI based on crime rate and types of crime per area and capita. Public events that attract big crowds are managed in a manner to avoid chaos and even riots. AI is also heavily involved in prioritizing municipal activities based on infrastructure needs, new developments, and budgetary issues. Yet, AI was of no use in creating useful models that predict economic changes and subsequent social and migration patterns. Even residential, business, and industrial permits are in many cases issued after AI is utilized to predict how such expansion would affect traffic patterns, stress on infrastructure, the environment, and public services, among other things. Take Detroit, for example. At some point, it was America's automotive industrial center and so much more. Then the car makers went global and downsized operations, leaving behind colossal suburbs full of hundreds of thousands of unemployed people. Decades later, the city is still bankrupt and recovering. This is why mega projects and large expansion projects, regardless of their type, are often accompanied by public works such as roads, bridges, water mains, sewage mains, traffic-related improvements, and you name it in the surrounding area. In many cities across the world, including rich ones, the quality of life fluctuates every few months or years depending only on two things: economics and migration. It is all about economics, which, believe it or not, dictates where and how people move within the city and the number of people moving to or out of the city every day. This leads us to wonder, can AI predict a city's economic growth rate and future activities accurately and thus help planners and managers distribute resources and projects accordingly? We would love to say here that such AI-powered programs are available, effective, and accurate. However, the answer is no. Current AI programs can help in making cities better in every way. However, AI cannot predict a city's economic forecast and new potential investments and the related effects on people's behavior, especially in terms of movement and migration. AI cannot predict that Tesla or GM or Ford or Boeing is going to establish a gigafactory in New York in 2029 and then generate the best locations for such a factory and all the details, public work projects, and other preparations the city must undertake to accommodate the new factory without damaging other areas of the city. AI can also not predict if the federal government is planning to roll out some new infrastructure programs via the distribution of money to cities. This has to do with the fact that such a decision by the federal government is tied to issues such as elections and bill passage in Congress and the Senate. Politics is simply unpredictable. There is also the issue of geopolitics and globalization. AI must take into consideration the whole global economy and its supply chain into account, along with many potential regional and international geopolitical changes that affect where and how governments allocate their budget and how large corporations expand or downsize, which affects cities. AI also did not predict that 2023 would be the hottest year on record because, as far as it is aware, more EVs than ever are on the road and renewables are taking over, so it predicted less global warming. However, the summer of 2023 has proven to be nothing but a catastrophe for hundreds of cities worldwide as they got scorched by heat waves, sudden violent storms, and lots of flooding. This is probably making you wonder, should not AI be much smarter than humans and able to predict things such as, or at least create plans for such prolonged emergencies? The answer is yes. Advanced AI is supposed to perform millions and billions of calculations per second based on all the information available on the internet, within databases, and from parameters input. However, AI cannot predict the actions and behavior of governments, political and business elites, and invisible powers at play in the world's trade and geopolitics games. The bottom line here is that AI bases everything it knows and can calculate or punch in its algorithm equations on what we humans have been entering into databases and the internet. In a nutshell, we have to tell AI what we want based on what we have, and then expect it to generate predictions and solutions that are feasible and implementable. For example, AI states that compact vertical cities are becoming a necessity, and thus megastructures that are massive and high must be constructed to reduce cities' footprint. But there is not a single country in the world building such structures because no one would live in them unless they are just as awesome, fascinating, green, healthy, safe, and sustainable as the Saudi project, The Line, in the new city of Neom. Most people also do not want mountain-sized vertical cities with a super smart machine connected to everything in their lives and able to predict everything on their behalf. It's simply a matter of privacy, individualism, and freedom. This is why AI is great when it comes to managing cities and allocating resources or predicting and managing things related to traffic, infrastructure, and common city activities. However, it cannot solve cities' real problems, which are human problems and are related to economics, wealth, and migration. In a nutshell, AI is not the solution to cities' problems, but it is rather a tool that can be used to mitigate the effects of any sudden economic, migration, or natural disasters-related problems. It can also facilitate the process by which humans implement solutions for urban sprawl problems. For example, vertical cities are a doomed idea due to many reasons ranging from safety and cost to sunlight and ventilation. While average-sized scrapers and residential high-rises will continue to dominate cities in the future, experts believe that the only true solution to the main problem cities face today is the reallocation of jobs and services to newly built sustainable cities that encourages big city dwellers to relocate in search of economic benefits, thus eliminating overpopulation and environmental stress, among other issues. According to AI-generated models, such new cities have to be built sustainably with long-term sustainability in mind and mostly feature compact low-rises with garden or urban farm roofs, plenty of green space, urban farms, and easy accessibility to amenities. The core of such new cities has to be long-term sustainable jobs. Today, most city planners, managers, and social leaders view AI as a mere tool that simply acts as a consultant to make our lives, cities, and economic status better. A tool that should never exceed its consulting role. Do you believe that AI and smart machines can solve humanity's problems? Tell us how in the comments section, and please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Thank you.